Previously on Panels to Pixels.
Another video finished. Time to go to bed.
You think those are the only MCU games in the world? Josh, you've become part of a bigger universe. You just don't know it yet.
Who are you and what are you doing in my room?
I'm the original Nick Fury. I know I'm not so popular these days, but damn it, I was here first, and I deserve some recognition. I'm here to talk to you about LEGO Marvel's Avengers. Okay, so here's the deal. LEGO Marvel's Avengers is the best MCU video game ever made. By like, a wide margin. I wish it wasn't the case. I wish there was a way of experiencing these movies in video game form that didn't come with the constant click-clack of tiny plastic feet. I wish I hadn't sunk in dozens of hours collecting every single gold brick, mini kit, and character token in a game targeted at 7-year-olds. But I did it. And to be honest, I loved every minute of it. Coming off the back of LEGO Marvel Superheroes, a game which totally nailed the feel of the classic Marvel universe from the comics, TT Games next took aim at the Marvel Cinematic Universe with LEGO Marvel's Avengers. The plan was simple: to bring their trademark family-friendly humor and cutesy brickification to the biggest movie franchise of the last 30 years. I remember when LEGO Marvel's Avengers was first announced, and being a bit disappointed that 1, it wasn't a proper sequel, and 2, that it would be using the MCU movies as its source material, and therefore omitting the Fox-owned X-Men and Fantastic Four characters. But even so, I remained optimistic, and to be honest, when the game finally came out, I was pleasantly surprised. Story-wise, LEGO Avengers is a very faithful retelling of the events of 2012's Avengers and 2015's Avengers Age of Ultron, with additional levels based on the likes of Iron Man 3, Thor the Dark World, and Captain America the Winter Soldier thrown in to flesh out the story. It kinda serves as a greatest hits of the MCU, and it's pretty cool to play through some of these key scenes. I mean, who wouldn't want to relive this iconic moment from Thor the Dark World? Did that even happen in Thor the Dark World? Man, I completely blocked that movie out. The downside of the game adapting the events of the film so strictly is that it all just feels a bit restricted and by the numbers. The first LEGO Marvel Superheroes had an original story that served as a wild ride through the many landmarks of the Marvel Universe. It's clear that so much knowledge and passion for the source material went into it, and the game's writers really got to stretch out and pull some really obscure references from the comics. Here though, it's just slightly dumbed down retellings of scenes from the movies, and that has a knock-on effect on the gameplay, because a huge part of the LEGO games is the creative stage designs and environmental puzzles. I don't know, sometimes it just feels like they had to recreate key locations from the movies, regardless of whether or not it will make a fun level to play through. And speaking of gameplay, it's exactly what we've come to expect from the LEGO series. Defeat enemies, smash everything, collect studs. If you've played one, you've played them all. And I don't mean that necessarily as a bad thing. These games are just straight up relaxing and fun. I see why some people don't enjoy these games or find them too childish, but there's really nothing better to unwind after a long day when you just want to play something that isn't gonna kick your ass. While the other MCU games we've talked about would often bring back actors from the films to voice their video game counterparts, LEGO Marvel's Avengers goes a different route by sampling lines of dialogue directly from the movies. When it works, it's quite effective, and is a good way to get around the actors phoning in their performances for a quick paycheck. I'm looking at you, Norton.
Aww.
The problem is that most of the time, it just doesn't work. Awkward silences and poorly edited sound clips makes for a jarring experience, and further take you out of an already unengaging campaign. It does, however, make for some great comedic moments, when the audio is playing out as you remember, but the on-screen minifigs are miming out visual gags and slapstick humors, like little plastic Charlie Chaplins. The LEGO games have always been funny, but the hilarity is ramped up to a whole other level with LEGO Avengers. I laughed out loud several times, and it's worth playing this game just for these goofy jokes.
You need to step away.
Sorry, kids, you don't get to see my party trick after all.
Not all the voice work is recycled from the movies, though, as the game brings back fan favorite MCU actors such as Clark Gregg, Kobe Smulders, and Haley Atwell to voice Agents Phil Coulson, Maria Hill, and Peggy Carter respectively. All three actors do a great job of bringing some cinematic authenticity to this cute and cuddly reimagining of the MCU. The huge open world of New York City from the first game is back, but this time you can also explore smaller hub worlds such as Asgard and Sokovia. And it isn't just characters from the movies that you'll bump into along your journey. One of the big appeals of LEGO games for me is the massive character rosters, and LEGO Marvel's Avengers doesn't disappoint, with over 200 heroes and villains to collect and play as. These include characters from the comics, such as Kamala Khan's Ms. Marvel, Moon Knight, and She-Hulk. I guess what I'm getting at here is that there's simply no better way to revisit your favorite Marvel movie moments in video game form than LEGO Marvel's Avengers. And that's why it's the best MCU game ever made.
Well, there you have it folks. Big thanks to Diego Rivera for stepping in to tell us about the true best MCU game ever made. Definitely go subscribe to his channel for more fantastic comic book video game fun. If you haven't already seen the main video in which I rank and review all the other MCU games, you can do so by clicking the link on screen now. And don't forget to subscribe to Panels to Pixels for more stuff like this. Alright, take it easy and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!